what and where did you dig into in order to step in a new direction for yourself? What was there a moment, was there an
Mhm.
event that kind of, tipped the scale for you, or was it just a silent kind of recognition that you needed to move in a different direction?
There was a silent recognition, probably about a year before I got sober. There was some work I was trying to do within myself. There was some online forums and some different things. And I just felt like I had a moment, maybe over the a course of a couple of months, where it was like, you got to decide. You got to decide which side of this you're going to be on. Are you going to be a recovery story and a testimonial, or are you going to be on this path, until you're 60, 70, and either what I've come to know is a lot of people in my family had drank themselves out of it, like at an old age or aged out to where they just
Mhm,
couldn't
mhm.
actually do it anymore. Or they continued until, some other health issue came up. And so I had a very clear understanding of that being the choice. And and that combined with some low moments of I can't show up anymore and not like this is going to there is no hiding this at this point, there is
Yep.
or that my time of hiding it was getting very, very short. And I just reached out to my mom and told her that, I'm going to go to my first 12-step meeting. I asked her to go with me because I was afraid and nervous to go. But it was because
Good
of
for you.
yeah, thank you. It was because of conversations. It was because of her making it a safe space that I was able to say that out loud to her,
Yep.
So I think in anybody who's listening to, how do you help someone who has a drinking problem or what do you do? I think knowing that there were times where my mom had mentioned or said something in a loving, compassionate way that let that door be opened for when I was ready. It wasn't accusatory, it wasn't fear based, it wasn't, aggressive in any way. It was just a knowing and a presence, and I'm here. And so when I was ready, that was someone that I felt like I could reach out to. And there were some other people, I used my mom, but there were some other people close to me that had created that safe space as well for me to take those first steps. To take those first steps. And a lot of this, I think, is God at work, that it all came together for me to be ready, for my support system to be open arms, and for just things to align for me to get it together.
Yeah, I love that. And the reason why I say good for you is because all those signs can be present, and sometimes it's really difficult when you're in the grips of addiction to grasp them and hold on to them as a source of strength, as opposed to something that is stoking the shame and guilt that you're feeling within yourself. So just that action of stepping towards the compassion sometimes is challenging, even though it may be coming from your very close loved ones or friends. It's easy for the addicted mind to misconstrue it as being as needing to be on the defensive, right, and needing to protect yourself as opposed to stepping into authentic support. So I mean that's
Mhm.
where I think it's important to note. And I love the fact that you've highlighted the space that needs to be created for people who are struggling, because you need that not judgment space. You need that true, compassion, and you have to feel it, past just the words itself. And it sounds like that's what you were feeling, by way of your family and some of the other folks who were close to you at the time.
And I do want to say too, Ray, with what you just said around the defensiveness that can come. I believe, if I'm remembering everything correctly, that same weekend I had a moment of defensiveness that
Mhm.
happened. Where my mom had reached out and mentioned some things she had seen, and I got defensive and I got angry, and yes, that was one of the signs that let me know, okay, this is out of control now, because
Yeah.
I'm the fun drunk. I'm the one that, it's the party, it's the outgoing part of my personality. It's the fun. It's the tailgate. It's the this. It was like all these pictures I had of what my drinking was supposed to be. I was realizing it's no longer that anymore. Now I'm depressed and in a dark space, and I'm getting defensive with the one person who genuinely is just trying to help me,
Yeah.
and I know that, but there's something that's taking over me that's not making it possible for me to receive it. And so, to your point, that did happen one time, and I think that was a big catalyst for, okay, this is, I can see this, because if I'm defending something that I know is true with someone who I know loves me unconditionally, wouldn't care what I said back to them, then that lets me know I've completely lost control, and I'm on the slope is as slippery as it can get if I don't do something now. And so I did have that one moment, but thank God it was that one moment, and I was able to use that as like a low bottom moment, emotionally speaking,
Yeah.
to make the changes soon thereafter.
I think that's a great call out, because oftentimes folks are, who are sitting there who maybe haven't stepped into recovery, haven't stepped into support, are asking themselves, do I have a problem? Whether they're Googling it or, they maybe just be socializing the idea in their mind. And I do think that that is something that oftentimes is overlooked is,
Hmm.
whether or not you are starting to become defensive about these decisions that you're making for yourself that are clearly, doing more harm for you and the folks around you than they are good, but you're still holding on to this, false sense of pride. I think that's a clear call out that you might want to take a closer look at your relationship.
Absolutely. Fighting for something that's killing you is a big,
There
major
you
red
go.
flag. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pull that one out and
Right.
make it a real.
Use that one. Post that one, Ray. Post that
Yeah,
one.
exactly. I appreciate you guys listening to the Stack and Days podcast. I hope this episode added value to your recovery and wellness journey. Before we go our separate ways, let's connect on social. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at Stack and Days or via the website www.stackanddays.com. By supporting the show, you can play a direct role in amplifying people of color in their pursuit of recovery. The easiest way to do that is to subscribe or hit the follow button. This way, you'll never miss an episode, all while playing an active part in creating the ecosystem where diverse voices in healing matter. This show is for the purpose of education and connection and is not a replacement for therapy or recovery care. For more information on the resources and support available, take a look at SAMHSA and some other resources shared in the description. Until we meet again, be well, one day at a time.